Chloe. I click the button. Everything seems to be going. I'm not sure. Wait, I think it's streaming. Yes, we're good. I think we're live. All right, good. No. All right. Hold on. Let me click on the Twitch window here. We'll get there. All right, cool. I think we're good.
All right. No, we definitely are, because I'm now hearing double. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Early
You gotta
Access
mute, Chloe.
Week
Mute.
10. And we are here with your community manager, Kittychix, to my some direction through the interwebs is your game director, Chris Euryidium. I need to mute that because I'm hearing like 6 different versions of myself. That's terrible. And with us today as a special guest is Jackie from the DigitalDNA side of things. Woot woot!
Woot.
So say hello, everybody.
Come on, guys. Let's get a big woot woot for Jackie, the code warrior that fixes tons of bugs for you guys. And she's always in the forums answering your questions and fixing more bugs. So let's give it up for Jackie here. So, all right, Chloe, let's you want me to take it? Can I take it?
Well, I mean, you do kind of start that.
All
so
right.
why don't you take
So I'm gonna
it
give you
and
guys-
give us the rundown on updating.
All right. First off, everybody,
Yep.
thank you for coming to today's stream. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. We got Jackie Curley here. I'll give her the headset in just a little bit, by the way, guys. She'll be talking about a lot of cool stuff that she's done in the game. You guys can ask her a ton of questions. She's one of our key gameplay coders for the project. She does a lot of stuff. She's also the mastermind behind the repair and decay system. And many other things that go on in the game. So you guys, you guys will be able to dive in, ask her a lot of questions about the game. You can also ask her just general questions about coding. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to answer all that. So with that said, let's jump into what we got this week. Game update number 8 is live. I mean, who's not excited? We got a ton of killer stuff in this particular update. The Lycor spawner has actually been fixed. No lie. It has been verified in beta. It works. So you guys can go out there and farm Lycor. I think I need to change the spawn percentage a little bit, but he's good to go. Ragnarok, we had a big crash in beta. Jackie fixed that crash, so we're good there. But in general, a lot of cool stuff. You know, you can see the bestiary has been unlocked. We're going to be adding to that. We're going to be updating a lot of text. Thanks to Sean, who went through and found a couple errors here and there for us. So I'll be fixing those in the next update. But yeah, let's jump into it. So if you guys get into the update, you'll see a lot of the ruins have been updated. So a lot of cool new stuff. The monolith area, I've put a cool new little altar and lots of fun things are happening around there. We have more camps in the world, so as you're exploring, you're going to run into more camps, more ruin areas, which is always awesome. Repair materials needed for weapons and armor. I revamped these. We've simplified them a bit. So less components, seems to make more sense. So I think you guys will really like that. Players will now react to taking damage and landing blows. That's super cool, right? I mean, your guy looked pretty funny just standing there. I fixed or made a tweak to the rotation speed on structures. So when you are going to place a structure down into the world to start building a diagram, you can now use the mouse wheel, and the rotation of what direction you want the door to face will actually spin much quicker. It's kind of nice. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. So let's see, crafting. Structures can now be repaired or destroyed in the decay over time. Jackie will elaborate more on that system. That's something she put in herself, and I think it would be great for her to cover in great detail. We revamped the AI. John has done a great job just making everything function, work, and it's super dynamite. We've also gone in, added more attacks to different creatures. Creatures have different animations or multiple animations in some cases. Wolves now lunge at you. So yeah, things are coming together. We're really happy. The forest giants now hit you with both fists, and he does a huge swing. Super awesome. Let's see, skeletons. Let's see, now they come in, I'm working on multiple flavors here. We have armed and unarmed versions. I'm also going to be putting in more NPCs soon that have different weapons, like blood-stained axes and all sorts of cool stuff that'll be unique, dropped only, kind of like Lycor and Ragnarok. Wolves, I actually broke the wolves up now. You'll find the Hillstalkers in that start area of the world. They do a little bit less damage. And then on the opposite end of the island, I've put in dire wolves. And the dire wolves do more damage. They're much more ferocious. I got some stuff lined up where we're going to modify some of the savage wolf pelt armor that we have. So you'll have to get the hides from the dire wolves to make different colored. So white and black savage wolf pelt armor that'll be going into the game here shortly. Dire bears now do less damage. They were pretty brutal, but I'm actually think I'm going to up the health a little bit. Watching my son play this morning, he smacked a few of them down with ease, and I was kind of disappointed. And he didn't have much armor on, so he's my official play tester. Special creatures, Ragnarok and Lycor, they have new textures now, so you can pull them out of the crowd. Super awesome to see these guys. And as we put more unique NPCs into the game, you'll see these, they'll stand out and look unique as well. Even if it's just emissive eyes, you'll still know when you see a named creature in the world. Let's see. Small bushes, guys. You're going to love this. Small bushes can now be chopped with swords. How awesome is that? I know you've been waiting for it. I know I have. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner again. But it kind of makes sense. You can now use your sword to whack down bushes. It was kind of awkward before, but I fixed it. We're good. Or I should say I added it, so we're good to go. Let's see. Radigo Oak Smasher, Savage Steel Cleaver, Golden Reaver. Everything, all the models are correct. I made some tweaks to the durability and damage, so all that stuff is good. So that's kind of the patch in a nutshell. And let me tell you, there's a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of hard work went into it. That's why we delayed the patch for several weeks now to get all of this right. The AI was a huge overhaul, but we have it in a really good state now to where we can mold it and use it for new creatures that we add into the world, such as the dragon, when the dragon is ready. So, which is in the works. So let's see. So with that, some sneak peek, some things going in. We're working on some cool PvP stuff. Jackie will highlight some of the things that she's working on in the next coming patch. So I don't want to go into too much detail because I'd rather Jackie talk about a lot of cool stuff. I'm thinking,
okay,
are you guys?
We should highlight the one thing that you have talked about on the forums, which not everybody on the stream may have seen yet.
Which remind me.
What was the thing that you posted about, but you didn't include a photo for it yet?
Sconces. The most amazing feature of all time. People or players will now be able to light up their houses with relightable torch sconces. They require coal, cloth shreds, and flint. Much like a campfire, you got to keep them fed, and they provide light inside your houses. Bah! It's super awesome, actually. So no more having to use radiant gems as little night lights.
But they look so pretty, lining the entire, outline of your floor, right?
Yeah, well, they serve their purpose. They work. So a lot of cool stuff in the works. A lot of that will come online in our next update. We'll see how things go next week because we're getting in a lot of stuff. If there's going to be a delay in the beta, we'll let you know. But as always, you guys can opt in when we get new beta updates out, help us test, and do a lot of cool stuff. So thank you guys for helping us test this patch. Really helped. We figured out and cranked out and fixed a lot of bugs. So thank you. So with that, I'm going to host a game. I'm going to give the headset over to Jackie. And then you guys can chat and talk about awesome stuff. And I get to play the game with fans and have fun. So it sounds like a cool deal to me.
Sure. So transfer the headset and we'll get down to actual business.
See, she's so mean to me. Hold on.
Oh, please. While they're doing that.
Hello.
Hi.
She's too big.
Oh no. Yeah.
The little
Chris
head.
has a big head.
Yeah.
In more than one way.
Alright.
First of all, Jackie, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. For those of you who were with us when we actually went to early access, which seems like a crazy amount of time ago, but was really only a couple of months, Jackie was in studio. She and John and Tom decided to make the trek over to the Signal Studios, and they were enjoying some beverages and peanut gallery commenting, shall we say, during the first. I think you were there for what? It was like an hour or something like that.
Maybe like half hour or so. Wasn't too long.
it was a nice little break from everybody coding like mad until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we were pretty much up all night to finish it.
So this is technically her second time on stream. There were a couple of people who were like, "Oh, we want to see Jackie," and I'm like, "Well, technically, we've already seen her, but."
Yeah.
Welcome. So let's sort of get right into it and find out, how did you get into gaming? Like, what was your first game that you ever played? What caused you to want to go into the industry?
Well, when I was a little kid, I always liked playing video games, and we mostly played like Mario Kart and stuff like that. I have 3 sisters, so it was anything we could all play together was what we played. 4-player games. And then so I went into college and I did programming because I just knew I liked computers, and I didn't necessarily think I was just gonna get into video games, but it was something that would be cool to do. And then when I graduated, I ended up meeting Tom's wife, who DigitalDNA, and I got a job interview, I guess, through her, and I started working with Tom. And then that was about it. We just did the little games on the Xbox. I think the first one was Avatar Superstar. It was like a karaoke thing, and just little games like that. And then eventually we made Calciminer, and that one got really big. So
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually answers my next question, which was, of course, what was your first game that you worked on in the industry?
yeah, it was just little games on the Xbox.
Which, I mean, they're not little. I mean, let's face
Yeah.
it, you got to learn somewhere, right? And actually getting a game released on any platform, as we experience on a daily basis, can be a challenge.
Yeah, I learned a lot just doing that, and I made a couple of my own that were really little ones, but it teaches you a lot because you have to do everything.
Yeah.
You don't just do one thing, you have to do everything that has to do with the game.
Well, especially if you're working solo and you have to do the art and the sound. At least here on Savage, while we don't have a huge team, we have a couple of people who are specialists in various areas. You don't have to do absolutely everything on,
Yeah, it's
on your
nice.
own.
It's nice having art people because I don't like to do art at all. I'm not an art person, so.
I can't draw a stick to make it look like a stick,
Yeah.
so I totally understand. All right, so with that, what do you actually do on Savage? I mean, you write code.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
make
programmer,
code.
but-
So I did all the UI stuff I do all that, and then I just do random things pretty much. So I did the fires to make them reliable. I did all the crafting and the repairing and the building damage and all that kind of stuff. Just random things, I guess.
She says it like she's not been working on these massive systems.
I know, it's just it's just all different things. Pretty much because John does most of the AI and those, the really big stuff, so then I just kind of do everything else, the random things that you guys want added. And fixing bugs.
Which you do amazingly. You'll often see Jackie poke her head into the forums and ask for clarification on bug reports and things like that. And, as we've said over the past couple of weeks, the reason why we ask for that additional information is we discovered that occasionally what we see on the programming side, Unity, is not what actually appears in the game, as John elaborated on when we were dealing with the multiplying and invisible tree bugs for several months. So there's a reason we are asking for this extra information sometimes.
Yeah, and then I think a lot of times people don't realize, what is causing the problem. So they'll say, they'll try to help out, but then it'll be well, I know that's not causing it. So then I have to ask a lot of questions to try to figure out what is actually causing the problem.
So if you've posted a bug, it's actually super beneficial for us if you go back to you as in the player, not you, Jackie. If you go back and check on the post a day or so later to actually see whether we've come back and asked for additional information so that we can, try and narrow down what is actually causing the problem. Okay, so what would you say Of the things that have been implemented right now, what was your favorite thing that you got to work on?
My favorite thing. I'm not sure what my favorite thing is. Like, I think actually all the like repairing and that kind of stuff. I think that was probably one of my favorite things. The repairing of the weapons, because I'd already done a lot of the UI stuff for it, so that wasn't as much work, and I just had to make them. I had to figure out how to do it.
Absolutely. No, and I mean, it was obviously something that the community really wanted. It was something that we knew wanted. It was just a matter of making
and having time to do it. There's a lot of things on the list, so I just have to slowly get to them when I can.
Absolutely. So that's actually a great leaping off point. Of the things that you are working on right now, and I know that there's a couple of them, what would you say you are most excited to get into the game?
Probably the achievements. I'm working on achievements right now, so I'm excited to get those into the game, because then it gives you something to go and do and achieve and show everyone like all the accomplishments that you made in the game.
Absolutely. Now, without spoiling too many of them, and of course they're not finalized right now, we're just hooking everything up, which do you think is going to be your favorite achievement? Can you give us a hint as to one of them?
Probably killing the forest giant.
So in other words, I'm gonna have to actually gear up and go after him. I've been putting it off, and I probably should have done it before the update. Not that it would have counted for the achievement, probably, but
some will. I've been storing achievements like slowly, so some of them it will count like what you've done so far, because I've already been saving the data for what you do. So.
Oh, which also probably means we're working on leaderboards, although they may come at different times, right?
Yeah, we haven't started on that yet, so it won't come right now. But.
Well, yeah, but the data is being stored so that it might be reflected on it, which is fantastic. All right, so I'm really hoping, and I know there will be a couple people in chat who will agree with me, we're really hoping for an aqua deer reference. I don't know how we're going to work that in there, but if you could somehow slide in some reference to animals and aquatic things that shouldn't be aquatic, I don't know. just putting that bug in your... Okay, so where's my list of questions? I had a list. So what would you say would be the most challenging thing that you've had to get to work on Savage so far?
Well, for me, I would say the crafting was most challenging, because that was the first thing I did, and I had never worked with Unity before. So I did all the UI, and it's completely different, the UI with that, than the XNA that I used before. So like getting used to like this whole new way of programming and getting all these UI controls was probably one of the most challenging. And then we had to like kept redoing it, I felt like, so that was...
It just kind of, it's iterations, right?
Well, yeah, because you had to get it. Yeah, you play around with it and see what works and what doesn't work and make it better.
Absolutely. All right. Well, why don't you get into a little bit more of what you are currently working on, other than just that, because the achievements, because I know that's one of the big things.
Well,
and while you do that, I'm going to ask in chat, if you guys have a question for Jackie, make sure that you tag us at Signal Studios so that we can pass them over to her.
Okay. One thing I just did was the reliable sconces for the buildings, so you can see in there. They're similar to the fire pit, where they'll burn out and you have to add more to them. And then the achievements. And the next thing to work on after that is heads on pikes, so you can see who you killed.
Hey.
And you can make little pikes. Yeah, Game of Thrones style. It'll show you the name of the person you killed, and that'll be fun.
For those individuals who are interested in the PvP, yes, we are doing some work on that. John can actually speak to it a little bit better, because John is primarily heading the work on PvP, but we are working on PvP. We are doing lots of improvements on it. Don't worry. So, For those who are interested in the more hostile side of Savage, this will be a way for you to actually show off a little bit and gruesomely decorate your home base as a warning to other players. I'm not really sure where to go with that. I mean, that's not really my style, but you know, I know that a lot of players really enjoy that. So
Well, yeah, you can show how many people you've killed, I guess.
absolutely.
Everyone will be scared of you.
It, potentially. Now, if you had the ability to add anything, we know that John, for whatever reason, really wanted to add sausages. If you had the ability to wave a magic wand and, without doing any work, add something crazy to the game, what would you want to add?
Something crazy. Well, I think just like if you could like ride the dragon or something. I know we have the dragon in the game, but if you could like fly on the dragon, you know, fly around, I think that would be cool.
I remember asking Chris in a very early stream, I think probably when the first time taming came up, if we were going to be able to be dragon riders, and he kind of hemmed and hawed and didn't really give me an answer. Somehow I don't think Kerr is going to be rideable.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he is, but it would be cool if he was.
Agree. I agree. I think it would be awesome. All right. So, actually, it comes up an awful lot in streams, in, you know, just general questions. What kind of languages did you learn prior to getting to work with Unity? Because I know Unity has its own system to work with.
Yeah, well, it uses C# like for the scripts, so that's what I used before when we made the games for the Xbox was C#. And then in college it was just a little bit of everything. Like we did like Java and, you know, C and just all kinds, C++ and everything.
So having I mean, at least having worked with XNA did actually help when it came to Unity.
Yeah, because we still use the C# code, so it helped with that.
Fantastic. That makes it, you know, it's everyone's first time working with Unity here, guys. So we started from the ground up. You know, for just being a day shy of a year in development, this game is looking pretty awesome. So we got to go with that. We got to give props to the entire code team. Excuse me, for doing an amazing job. Everybody else at Signal who's just doing a fantastic job on this, because it was a new language, new engine for both studios. So hey, y'all have rocked it so far. Yeah. And occasionally, you know, the strange bugs with Ragnarok dropping, breaking weapons and stuff like that. You know, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just some things that we're not, you know, you have to make new, like with the Xbox games, like we had already made a bunch, so we already had all this stuff that was ready to go. But then when we started on the Unity, it's like we had to make new versions of everything, like a new AI system and then like new UI system, and everything's new.
I'm watching Chris just light the entire forest on fire, which just seems like such a waste to me.
Yeah.
Ah, Chris, no comment. Anyway, so a great question, because everybody, you know, when they report a bug goes, oh, you know, it's only a few lines of code, why can't this just get fixed already? Can you walk through the process of, once a bug has been reported to you, how you go about actually figuring out what to do, what's wrong, etc.?
Yeah, so some bugs are easier than others, because we'll get reports that if there's a crash, and then sometimes we'll get the username with that report. So someone posts like, oh, I got this bug, I can look it up and see if I have an actual crash report. And then for certain ones, it might be just there was something null that wasn't supposed to be, and then that's usually an easier fix. You just have to make sure it's not null. Or like the Ragnarok one, it was a null that wasn't supposed to be, so it was an easy fix once we found it. And but then other ones are more complicated. There's like out of memory ones where it's just you don't know what caused that, you know, it's just out of memory, so you have to look into everything and try to figure out what it could be.
Absolutely. One that's being asked about in chat right now is the voice over IP has become a demonized voice.
Oh, a demonized voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically unusable at the moment.
Oh.
Now, for something like that, how complicated is it potentially to fix that? Because is that something that it's likely a line of code is just conflicting with it? I mean, it's hard to say, right?
Yeah, that's hard to say, like, what it could be, because we get the, like the voice data, and then we send it on, so it could be anything of why it's not coming out right.
Something to look into. It is a known issue, guys. We have been tracking it for a while. We are looking into this kind of stuff, but unfortunately, we don't have a, hey, here's the easy fix, because most of the easy fixes, they do get fixed every time we do updates.
Yeah.
That's why we have the little fix section up at the top.
But usually the bugs that you see update after update is something that either we can't find it, or even we haven't figured out how to fix it yet.
Exactly. So that doesn't mean that we are ignoring it. We want them fixed just as much as you guys do, because we want a polished game, but, sometimes the deer just want to continuously go for a swim.
Sometimes they swim.
Sometimes they do. Thankfully, with the Creature AI System 2.0, or some version of those numbers stuck in together, we are at the point where we don't think that's going to be happening anymore.
Yeah, I think John fixed all that. I don't think that's in the game anymore.
No, I don't think so either. How about we do a quick game giveaway? What phrase or word would you like them to have to enter into chat to win a copy of the game?
Let's do Ragnarok, because we fixed a bug with him.
Sounds good. And he's just an okay, right? Ragnarok? Yeah. I always have a wonderful time trying to remember how to spell some stuff. And then randomly things like Draymar. Punch Chris in the arm for me for changing the spelling of Draynar, please.
It's a punch in the arm. We're changing the spelling of Draymar.
Woo!
I don't know.
You missed. He told me on his stream that it was spelled one way in the bestiary. It's not spelled that way anymore.
I guess you told her the wrong way that it was spelled.
It was a test, Chloe.
A test which he
No,
failed.
it's a spelling test.
It's a
For
test
you.
that he failed. That's what I say to that. All right. So people are entering it into chat, which is awesome. We are going with no caps, guys. It's so much easier to do it without caps, because then they don't work and it's just bad. Just type it in. No caps, no caps. There we go. As people are typing. All right. That is a great question, Gadblog, and I'm pretty sure I just butchered your name. They're asking about the logs on hills that go rolling down that Chris was super pumped about at the beginning, but now you have a second mini game of it's not about catching the logs before they fall, it's about catching the logs before they hit the ocean.
Yeah.
So
I think
good
they might,
feedback.
keep rolling for now, because and then they're logs, logs roll. So.
Yep, absolutely. If there is even a slight incline, of which there is, most of our game is on an incline.
Yeah.
We are on an island, and it does go rolling into the ocean. You may not notice the incline, but it is there. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna do some rolls here. Da-da-da, da-da-da, number one. Heat dead air, but I can't do anything about it. And all right, third winner is. All right, so congratulations to Kyrie, Marquito, and I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I'm gonna call you Post. I'm so sorry, but your Twitch name has gotten the best of me. So congratulations on winning. Make sure that you message me I'm sorry, I'm all of a sudden losing my voice. Testing, a little better. Make sure you message me. They being my awesome chat mods, are going to hit the here's how you get a chance to message me, and I will send you your game codes after the game. My cat is going crazy, and I don't know what's wrong. She's being a cat, I suppose. She's being a derp, so she doesn't get to walk along behind me right now because I've had to move my desk while I'm getting ready to move. All right.
She wants to be on the video.
She totally does. She loves being on video. I don't know where she is. Hi, come here. Oh no, she's not gonna. She'll jump up. She'll jump up, and my whole table will shake in a minute. All right. So, if you had to bet on who would win, would you say that Chris or John would win in an epic battle of PvP?
I think John. Because he, like, made the code for it, so I think he would have a little bit more insight.
I appreciate that. I'm watching a video made by one of our community members named Randomized User, and he was showing off some of the new oh my goodness, my brain just died. He was showing off some of the new stuff from update 8 before it hits today. He did it over the weekend, and one of the things that he got a great shot of right at the beginning of the video was Lycor and his new look and his new attacks, and he was calling out the fact that he himself was using the Golden Reaver against Lycor, which is of course Lycor's own weapon. Yeah. And he noticed that there was going to be a delay in the swing, and the attack with the Golden Reaver takes a little bit longer to actually use it. And he was like, hey, you know, when you're in PvP, that's something to sort of keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. If you were in a PvP fight, what weapon would be your choice? Would it be something that we have in game? Is it something that we know is coming down the line? Like, what would you choose?
I kind of like the heavy stone hammer. I don't know if it's even that good of a PvP weapon, but I like that one. It's what I usually use for everything when I am testing things out. I just always use the heavy stone hammer.
Very nice. I you know what? I'm partial personally to the Ebon Steel, mostly because I saved up for it and died.
Oh yeah, well I cheat, so because I play it in the Unity, so I always just give myself whatever weapons I want, so I never bother having to save up for him.
Shake my fist at you. I shake my fist at you. Yeah. See, they have access to all the fun tools. I don't have access to anything of that unless a fellow dev and or really awesome mod gives me gear, which may have happened occasionally. But anyway. Alright. Now, what would you say to, at some point, I think I have a great idea for video or for a stream. We do finally get those dragon attacks in. I think we should get all of Signal and DigitalDNA. I think we should get the entire team together and do an attack on Kerr. Yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be
See
fun.
how many times everybody dies.
Yeah. And then after we kill him, we can all attack each other and see who wins.
Exactly. But that's actually we did do a PvP stream last week or the week. I think it may have actually just been last week. It feels much longer ago. And I have to admit, when we did the final fight of 8v8, I wasn't the first one to go down. I felt quite happy.
That's good.
we were at least, you know, sans armor and stuff, so we kind of prepped it. But anyway, anybody else got questions for Jackie? I mean, Jackie literally does these weird code things, and it all of a sudden makes stuff work in the game. So if you have questions about things that she has worked on, why we did certain things that we did, I mean, actually, I guess one of the things that we should talk about is the demo and the decay system.
Yeah, so we just added that, the It's in the release, the live version now. It's not as bad as a lot of people were worried about. Like, everyone thought, you know, their buildings are going to be gone in like a day, and they were constantly having to repair them. But it's not like that at all. They very slowly, they'll like kind of wear out, and then they'll be like, you'll see like the roof might fall off or a board might fall off, and then it will need repaired, but it'll still work. You know, you'll still be able to hide from the enemies.
Oh,
But yeah,
disappeared.
the only thing that wouldn't work is like the sconces, you know, so, or the forge wouldn't work if it's broken. So then you just repair it, which would just be maybe a few logs or a few stones, and then it's just a building again, and it works just like the normal buildings do.
Absolutely. And one of the most common questions that we were getting was, why did we ever, you know, come up with the concept of decay in the first place? And I mean, at the end of the day, it adds a sense of realism to the game.
Well, yeah, like houses, they fall apart if you're not taking care of them. So that's pretty much what it is. You just have to repair it every once in a while, give it a little maintenance, and it'll stay working for you.
And realistically, most houses are actually left far longer than
yeah.
it should be.
You also don't have to eat like a whole deer every hour.
Well, you know, we know that this game is really harsh, and the players in whatever world they live in, you know, we need more protein. It's just a constant battle to have enough protein.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a harsh environment, so you're constantly in this snow and cold weather all the time, so that's a little bit tougher on everything.
Now, excuse me, for those who weren't opted into the beta, and who may not have seen our previous dev streams on this, we do have 3 dedicated posts right now in the forums where we are looking for bugs and feedback about the 3 major systems that we added with this update. So they are the AI Creature 2.0, they are the Demolition, and they are the Decay system. So if you have feedback, if you have found bugs within those as you play through within the next week, definitely head into the forums and give us your thoughts and your feedback. We are not finalized on any of this stuff yet. Obviously, we think Creature AI 2.0 is better than the last version, and we had to rewrite the system because we needed to be able to include new things like the Cur attack, which is not in yet. It is not in game update 8. It might be in game update 9. We'll have to wait and see for Chris's preview notes. We are not locked in for number 9 yet. But without that update, the dragon would continuously circle around everybody's heads and do nothing more. And we want to get Cur attacking as much as you want to be able to fight them, so we know. But the whole point of that is make sure you hit the forums, give us your feedback on those systems. If, you know, we find that a particular building, say wood buildings, are decaying more quickly than stone buildings are, but which they would normally. I mean, stone doesn't decay as quickly as wood does, especially in a environment that is constantly snowing and therefore it would be constantly wet. You know, we'll take that feedback. We'll review the actual numbers that go into all of that decay system, and, you know, we'll redo balance if necessary.
Yeah, we already made some tweaks so that we can make the stone buildings last longer since they're stone and not wood. So because right now it's based on how many components that it takes is essentially how long it lasts. So we added a change so we can kind of like weight those components of, like, you know, some buildings have stronger components, so they'll take longer.
Absolutely.
So we made that little change.
Other than the blacksmith with the forge in it, do we have any other buildings that have metal in them?
Not that I can think of.
I can't think of anything either. I'm fairly certain they are in the forge, but I haven't looked at it recently. I haven't had to build one recently, so I can't remember. I'm just thinking, because of course metal wouldn't last as long as stone would. So again, you have all these crazy conflicting information and systems going in together, trying to figure out which one goes or which one works to what.
Yeah.
With that, with the demo system, one of the pieces of feedback that we've seen through streams and whatnot is that it takes a long time to actually break down a building.
Yeah.
With the current weapons that we have, well, and tools. And that part is true, but here's where what you see as a gamer and as a person who'd actually be, if you were in this world and doing it, it would take a really, really, really long time to dismantle a building just by whacking it with a hammer or an axe. So when we put things in, it's often, we apply actual logic to it and then go, okay, well, actual logic sometimes isn't fun. And so we scale it back. So that's kind of where we are right now, guys, where we are looking for you to give us your feedback on that, and so that we can actually go, okay, so here's where the logic bar is, and here's where the fun bar is, and let's figure out how to sort of meet that in the middle somehow. So
yeah, for the demolishing, what we wanted is, well, one, if you build a building in the wrong place or you decide you don't want it there, then you can get rid of it.
Absolutely.
And then also, eventually, we're hoping to have maybe lockable doors, and then if you're playing PvP, then you can demolish the building essentially, and the doors aren't going to work anymore. So that could be used for that.
Lots of things that we know in the future. This game is now 2.5 months. Yes, 2.5 months into early access. Had to do some math there, which I'm terrible at. We are nowhere near finished. We've talked about it before. We expect to be in early access for approximately 10 months. Considering where we came out of alpha at and where we are now, we've done huge improvements. We've added massive amounts of content and just basic gameplay systems, and we have a lot more to go. With that, I'm going to call on my mods real quick to be able to provide me with the link for this. We've also heard feedback, sorry to segue here, Jackie, for a minute. We've heard feedback that you guys in the community want a better idea of what suggestions have been made and where they kind of are in terms of popularity within the community. So we took some time and built out a community Trello board. Now, this board does not indicate that what suggestions have been made are being immediately put in or may even make it in at all. However, it does provide you guys an idea of where things are on the list in terms of popularity, and it does allow you to have a discussion specifically with regard to an individual idea. We love the feedback and suggestions forum, but I spend a very large part of my day on Monday every week trying to read through and figure out what idea is being supported by whom. And in this particular case, we won't actually have to do that anymore. You can register on Trello, vote on an item, or comment if you want to be able to understand the content a little bit better, have a discussion about it. We have a lot of that stuff already in the feedback and suggestions forum, but this is a way to really get into you guys can really get into I want X, and then if an idea is selected and it's something that we are going to be doing, you can actually follow the idea's progress across the board. Excuse me.
Well, yeah, and then it's nice with that because then we'll have stuff that we know we want to add, but we can add it first. Like if everyone is like, I really want this one thing, so.
Exactly. So while I do, for the team, provide some of that information on a week-to-week basis, here's a way to actually see all of the information, what you guys want, what you guys are talking about. And then so you've got your main column, which gives you all the ideas. The next column is, here's the stuff that we're working on right now. And then the final column is, hey, it's already in the game. If an idea is suggested that is already in the game, we simply won't add it to the list because that wouldn't make sense. Yeah. So hopefully you guys will be interested in using that, and we're going to test it for a couple weeks, but I expect that it'll be something that you guys will be enjoying.
Yeah, like one thing was like the relightable fires, which we had the plan to add that, but then as soon as we released it, everyone. That was like what everyone said was they wanted relightable fires. So that was like the first thing that we added to it.
Exactly. I mean, it was a big deal, as was repair, as was, I mean, a great example is one of the ones that we just put in. I mean, we had planned to do some of the stuff that's actually listed there, but, you know, it just wasn't in yet. The ability to forge lower quality ore into medium or higher quality ore. When, you know, you're sitting there and hammering and you're getting all this lower quality stuff, it's great to have a way to be able to upscale it, I guess. Mm-hmm. Now, we heard from John and Nate previously that things obviously take a while to get implemented. When a concept comes into your hand, so say the decay system, how long does it take for you to get that from the whatever state you receive it in to whatever state you deliver it in? So I'm assuming you're the one who. Do you actually have, like, do you get work from John and Tom that's already started, or do you normally go in and it's just your thing and you own it?
Sometimes I'll add to things they've done, but like some things, like a lot of things like the decay system, like I completely did all of that. So that took about, most things take about a week. So usually I try to get one thing in for every update. It's about average. And so like for the decay system, I started with the blueprints. So those started decaying first. That took me about a week to get those to decay. And then to get the buildings, I kind of reused some of that onto the buildings, and that was another week to get those to work. Mm-hmm. So most things are about a week. Some things are longer, some things are shorter. And I'm also, you know, doing little things here and there with bug fixes or just smaller little features that people want.
Occasionally you get told to update the ticker and, you know, random things like that, which I super appreciate, and I think everybody does too. I mean, one of the most remarked upon things that anytime I go into a new stream or watch someone who's just starting a Let's Play, who you know may not have seen our stuff before or haven't visited during a live stream, is they're always incredibly impressed that we have the, hey, this is when the next update is coming. Oh, and here's a sneak preview of what's actually going to be in that update. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're impressed, not to toot our own horn or anything, which sounds so self-serving. I'm sorry, guys. But they're impressed with our commitment to actually delivering when we say we're going to.
Yeah, we try.
And, you know, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, yeah, we had to push it by a week because we discovered bugs that would have caused major problems, and you know, it allowed us to go, hey, there's a crash with Lycor's, or not Lycor, Ragnarok's drop. Let's fix that. So we did.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we do another giveaway? Because we got about 10 minutes left.
Sounds good.
All right. What would you like the keyword or phrase to be this time?
I don't even know. We'll do
I really like
Golden Reaver.
Reaver? All right. One word, no spaces, no caps. I love it when I have other people on because I can make them come up with some stuff. Otherwise, it's always my job, and I can't do it. And
I want to say about with the dedicated servers in Decay, like we'll probably adjust the system with the dedicated servers. So a lot of people are worried about that. That, you know, if something will be, you know, everything will start decaying because they'll be running all the time. So we'll come up with a good solution like once we get those in.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry.
Having all the systems in ahead of trying to all of a sudden throw either more players or the dedicated servers in is what we are aiming for the explicit reason of it's a hell of a lot harder to balance for multiple different versions other than, you know, hey, here's one tightly controlled version. Let's worry about the bigger problem later.
Yeah.
It sounds right. We are very serious about getting the dedicated servers in. Mm-hmm. Don't get us wrong. We know that you guys want that. We want it too. It's just we need to get there once, in the right order.
Yeah.
The worst thing we could do is turn on a feature that didn't make sense and not take feedback about it. So when we do put things on, we do put things in, like we've talked about today, we take the time to sit there and review and analyze what you guys are telling us. If you aren't seeing a bug fixed, please post it again, because that's one of the things where if it's really bugging you, let us know. We can get it fixed, but sometimes we don't prioritize things, like say the in-game voice, because while we know about it, you guys aren't really talking about it, so we assume that you can just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
We're a small team. We only have, 4 or 5 people working on the code side of things, and they're amazing, but they still need to sleep.
Well, yeah, we have like a long list of things to add. So like usually I'll just go through and I'll see like, okay, the bugs that look like I can fix them really quick, and
Absolutely.
then I'll fix those, and other ones I'll just add to the list of stuff.
And it is always a long list.
Yeah.
It is unending, really. It is unending.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to do my rolls really quickly here. All right, so, and number 2. Why did that not pull up the person? Oh, I know why. And number 3, as I sing, because why not? Oh, come on. I love this system, but I really hate this system sometimes. Alright, so the winners are Tori the Wolf, Nano Keeks, and Treyarch Dragon. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names again.
That's why my username is easy. It's just Jackie, so everyone can pronounce it.
Yours is very simple. It's very short. It's very, very... Like, when I was looking at Chris's name for the first time, I'm like, okay. The funny thing is, I can sight read in dance class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can follow without anybody telling me. I cannot sight read words.
Yeah.
My brain is not wired the same way. All right. So once again, if you were one of those winners, please make sure that you message me after the stream or during the stream. I will send you a code after the stream is over. All right, so I'm going to scroll back real quick and just look for some of the questions.
Yeah, I think I saw something in there about controller support, and that is on my list of stuff to add. So I'll get to that someday.
It will be in the game eventually.
Yep. It's on the list.
I was gonna say, it's kind of one of those toss-ups. We know people prefer to play with a controller sometimes over the keyboard and mouse, but at least you do have the ability to rebind keys. Although I think Shift is still unrebindable, or at least if that has been fixed, it was not called out to me.
I don't know.
I can't remember. But one of the things that we did know very recently through a couple of streams was that we are aware that the default button for shouldering the bow, which when you're actually drawing it back, when you're playing on Mac, isn't necessarily bound to the same key that it is on Windows.
I can't remember right now which key it's bound to, but it's bound to something else if you're on Mac. Because their mouse that comes with the laptop or whatever, you can't do the right click, left click thing. So we had to do something else for that.
So, excuse me, if you are playing on Mac OS and you're having problems with that, that's probably why. Double check what button your shoulder key is, and that will actually allow you to draw the bow properly. Did want to just call that out. So General Retribution, who is a dev himself, has asked, in what ways are some of these systems integrated? Are we talking high levels of coupling, high levels of cohesion, or do you guys like to strike a good balance? Is that something that you can speak to?
I'm
It doesn't
not sure.
make any sense.
They're like pretty much like they all have like their own scripts. Essentially, they run themselves. So I don't know.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually probably a question that either John or Tom would be able to answer. So generally, you might want to reach out to at least John JPPG1, because his username on Steam, and he will likely be able to speak to that a little bit more. Excuse me. Odin's Rage, something like that, double tapping the mouse or a key to run, that's definitely some feedback that we want you to be posting in the forums. Everybody plays their own way, so if there's a lot of interest, or hey, suggest it on the Trello board. If there's a lot of interest, that's something that we would definitely want to see there, and things like that. So. Anyway, let's see. All right. So we are almost at the end of the stream. Jackie, do you have anything else that you would like to share about working on Savage, the experience so far? I mean, it's kind of been a crazy, dedicated, wild ride so far, and it's been almost a year.
Yeah,
So.
when we first started, in about a year. It's been fun to work on. It's been, learning new things, so it's been a good experience, and it's nice having the community. It's a great community. Like, one problem when we released Castle Menor Z's, we had a lot of Minecraft haters that just hated us. So it's nice having people like us and not hate us, pretty much.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What would you say was probably the biggest challenge for you in terms of, because you probably weren't a survival genre player beforehand. I mean, obviously we all did research on the type of games you're working on, but for you trying to get into the mindset of, working from XBLA titles to this kind of a title, what would you say was the biggest challenge for you to sort of wrap your head around? Not in terms of like the hardest thing to do, but like to code or anything, but just for you making that mental switch.
Not really sure what the hardest thing would have been, but I guess I don't really know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when it was a matter of, okay, I don't have a breadcrumb trail, and I'm terrible in sandbox games. And just personally, if I don't have step by step, go here, do this, not necessarily in terms of quests, but just figuring stuff out. It really wasn't until the last couple of updates that I even managed to get anything built, survive longer than a couple of hours. So for me, it was, I don't have any instructions. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, well, with the Castle Menor Z, it was actually a lot of the same kind of things with like the crafting and going out and just fighting things. So there was a lot of similarities, even though they're different.
Absolutely.
Between the two, and to really like try to get the right feel, I would usually watch like YouTube videos of people playing to see how they played other games and things that they did with the other games to try to get the right feel of what to put in this game.
All right, that's fair. I mean, we have talked about the fact that we did, and we do continue to watch your videos, to watch how you guys are playing. I am especially appreciative of when you guys do release videos, or if you're streaming, shout out at us. If we have the ability, we'll hop in. We share the videos internally a lot to make sure that, it's not just the funny ones. Sometimes when things go up trees that aren't supposed to, we all get a good laugh at it and then go, oh crap, okay, we should probably go look at the AI for that. That kind of stuff, we appreciate it when you guys let us know that you're playing and you're thinking about the games and what you're thinking about it, because it helps make our jobs easier if we can pinpoint what's going wrong or where we can improve ourselves. Your input into this game is incredibly valuable and necessary. We're all on this crazy ride, as Chris likes to say, together, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, and there's some things that we think are obvious that aren't. So it's like one reason why we added like the survival checklist for new players, because a lot of people didn't realize, like, oh, if you can press I and see your inventory and see what you have, And a lot of people, they would first start the game and they would like die when they're bleeding and they have cloth in their inventory and they didn't even realize it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that try to help people to see how, like, what buttons do what and help them out.
The first thing I ever used to do when I got like a game that actually had a booklet, back when those things, that was a thing. When you bought a new game, you had like a real, I don't know what the heck they were called, guides, I guess, was always look at the controller map. And for some reason, I've gotten out of that habit, and I remember getting into Savage and going, all right, let's just mash buttons and see what everything does.
Yeah, I know if I ever play games, I never look. I just press everything, see what works.
We figure it out as we go. That's problem solving of some type. I'm not sure. Anyway, with that, Jackie, would you like to ask Chris if he has anything else to say?
You have anything else to say?
Good?
Yeah, I think we're done now. It's been an hour.
Yeah, if you want to,
All right. Oh, yeah, I have to say. I will say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. It was fun talking to you. I hope I answered some questions for you. And you can post anything else you have in the forums, and I'll try to answer them. All right.
Absolutely.
Bye. Ow. My hair's
The problem with streaming and wearing headsets and having long hair.
Ah, yes. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys had fun. We went on a mighty adventure today. We went and killed a forest giant. Here we are on the west side of the island near the dragon statue. It was good stuff. You guys got to talk to Jackie, got some insight into how things are kind of done on the team. Or, how she works and, her role on the project and fixing things. She really does a lot of bug fixing and fixing a lot of gameplay systems. So I go to her for a lot of design stuff. And she'll usually tell me no, or she'll say, yeah, that's easy. So that's usually our conversation. Or she has a lot of good design sensibilities as well, so she comes up with different ways that we could design stuff, or ways to implement it so it's easy on me to add stuff and there's not a lot of friction when balancing this stuff out. So we got a really good combination of a lot of good back and forth that we have on the systems that we implement. And it's been really good, so a lot of good stuff is going in, which I think you guys are going to be really happy about. Hang in there with us. We got a lot more cool stuff. Jackie talked about achievements. She's knocking those out right now, 20 of them. They're going to be super cool. John is...
Aqua deer.
What's that?
Aqua deer.
Oh, Aqua deer. Yeah, no, John fixed all that.
No. We want the achievement.
Oh, Aqua deer. No. Well, I got some other cool ones. John is going to be working on the Dragon AI. We're gonna make some cool stuff. So in time, you're gonna look up to the skies and be very scared to move when you see Kerr come flying in. I'm gonna also talk to John and see about adding some more roost points on the map, so that there'll be different locations in addition to the towers where the dragon will kind of roost, and so we get some really cool different patterns in his flight path. But yeah, stay tuned. We had a lot of cool stuff. I'll post up an update tomorrow in the forums on what we're working on. It's going to be a little light, but it will grow over time. And if all goes well, we'll release a beta patch, maybe, not sure. But I do know that we got stuff cooking for the following week. It all depends on how the achievements go, because we've got to test those. They have really deep tendrils into a lot of stuff we do. So we'll definitely need a lot of beta testing on that front. So as always, thank you guys for coming out. Maybe next week we'll do a scavenger hunt, or where you guys come and find me. I'll load up my character again with a bunch of cool stuff, and you guys can come and find me in the most easiest of places. And I'll give away cool stuff. I mean, who doesn't want 15 slot bags or golden reavers, rotted oak smashers, and bows, and all sorts of cool doodads, and bear meat. Everybody loves bear meat. So with that, thank you guys. I'll be on the forums. Jackie will be there. She's going to be looking at bugs. She'll answer questions. So please, thank you guys so much. We appreciate this community. It's awesome. I think I'm rambling now, but
You are.
yeah, but it's awesome. I love being part of this. It's one of the, out of all the games I've built in all my years, this is probably one of the more fun communities I've had the opportunity to work with. You guys are awesome. Thanks to the moderators in the forums for making my job super easy, because I don't have to go looking for stuff. And Jackie doesn't have to go looking for stuff, so that's awesome. Thank you guys. You do a great job. And a big thank you to everybody. Thank you. All right, and thank you to Maureen and who's this guy? Who's this? This is the girl who stuck with me through our adventure through the island. Really cool stuff. Thank you guys. Had a lot of fun today. I think Jackie had a lot of fun. We look forward to talking with you next week. We good?
No.
I got to turn.
I have stuff to say too.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Chloe.
If anybody's actually still listening after Chris's rant, just to let you guys know, we will be streaming tomorrow to celebrate the 1 year in development. Yeah, I know. I'm going to be hosting. This is going to be crazy. You're going to
Can I come to it?
You can.
Oh,
I'm going to be
sweet.
hosting from 1 p.m. Central. Sorry, Pacific. Why did I say Central? That doesn't make any sense. 1 p.m. Pacific. We will go live on this channel, so you get to follow around, and we'll go on a epic hunt of trying to find me a forest giant, which is going to be horrifyingly bad.
I'll give you some pro tips. If you have Sean or any of the mods with you, I'm sure they'll easily guide you to where you need to go.
Probably, yes. However, you guys will actually be able to come and join me, so I'll have a hosted game, and it'll be public, so you can just hop in and have some fun with me. So, there's that. Check out the Trello, which we talked about a little bit earlier. Like we said, this is a great way for you guys to be able to visually see what's going on, what's been suggested, you know, add pictures, throw in links in your comments, whatever you guys want to do. Check out the wiki. If you have any questions, consider contributing. We have been doing a crazy amount of work. Sean and Dev have kept me up nights with their Skype conversations as they have worked on the layout of this thing. It looks amazing. If you guys have some time, definitely get in there and check it all out and look at, you know, as we get lore drops, they've been putting them in there. So if you've missed out on one of the last streams and you want to know what the latest is with Lycor and Kerr and Draymar, you know, check their pages. Like I said, add if you want to. And as always, the very last thing is you can find us at our official website, savagelandsgame.com, on Twitter at savagelandsgame, or on Facebook at facebook.com/savagelandsgame. We do like our names to be consistent. So thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I hope you had fun. See you guys next
Hope
week.
you had a ton of fun. Now I get to figure out how to turn this thing off.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go. Boy, this is always fun. Thank you, everybody. Peace out.